wasn't Trump or Hillary, though. I didn't like either one of them.
Really? You didn't like either one?
No, I didn't. I couldn't stand her. She dresses like a real estate agent, like her doing this thing with her head.
Yeah.
If you liked Obama, did he call you at all in the last 8 years? Did he ever put a sandwich on your table? You do that. You're going to keep doing that. You're going to be fine.
Right.
Everybody's like, what's he going to, oh my God. Dude, he is the greatest shit talker of all time. He sat at like a $100,000 breakfast while the president trashed him. Humiliated.
This is a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I'm jumping around.
White House Correspondents' Dinner, yeah.
Thank you.
Bill Burr just delivered the ultimate Trump takedown that has the orange man losing his mind. Did you see the moment Burr said Trump's hair has worse structural integrity than a sandcastle? Even Trump supporters couldn't help but crack up.
Like, everybody knew who they were voting for 4 years ago. And then they just drag you through a year and a half of this stuff? Like, who was sitting there watching the debate, like, still not decided? Stupid election is finally over. Took forever. Like, you know? Yeah.
What's even crazier is how Trump completely melted down afterward. His angry tweets got so bizarre that his own team couldn't contain the damage. We've got the full breakdown of how a comedian managed to knock 15% off Trump's own supporter base with just a few jokes. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Dude, the star of a reality show is going to run the country. The guy who decided if Brett Michaels or Cyndi Lauper would make a better CEO for a company that doesn't exist. Dude, I have to say, though, him winning is the most astounding thing I've ever seen.
It was a surprise.
No. Surprise. Dude, like, you're talking like Lake Placid, the Olympics, when we beat the Russian. He was the shit, though. He was like, he just reminded me like when I didn't read the book and I'm just winging it, you know? And I'm gonna do it. How you gonna do that? Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
Ever wonder what happens when a regular guy with a microphone takes on the most powerful man in politics? Bill Burr just showed us exactly that. In a comedy set that's now breaking the internet, Burr walked onto that stage looking like he was about to talk about everyday stuff. You know, marriage problems, airline food, the usual comedy fare. But oh boy, did he have something else cooking.
Not seeing me, I'm just seeing what they're doing. And it just annoys me. And you just want to win the argument. Maybe when they drive away, they're like, hey, isn't that guy from Comedy Central? I don't look at myself like that. I'm in my head. That was it. He was on the casino circuit, and then you idiot liberals wrote him twist again when you indicted him. And now he's a martyr. He's a narcissist. Liberals are so stupid the way that they handle Trump.
What do you mean?
You should shut up.
You think he'd go away?
You know what I think he was? I think he was a one-hit wonder.
What made this so different wasn't just what Burr said, it was how he said it. See, when CNN anchors criticize Trump, his supporters just change the channel. When politicians attack him, they're just playing politics. But when your buddy's funny uncle starts cracking jokes at the bar, that hits different. And that's exactly what Burr did. He started casual, almost disarming the audience with his regular guy charm. No fancy suit, no political agenda, just a dude with observations. Then, without warning, he unleashed a comedy missile right at Trump Tower. And even the folks wearing MAGA hats couldn't help themselves.
None of it made sense. Like, this guy saying he's gonna build a wall from California to like El Paso, Texas. Like, dude, I've done that drive. That's like a 2-day drive, 85 miles an hour. Like,
and this is madness.
I don't
what do you
have
mean she dresses like a yak and meets under a mountain?
What do you want me to say? Like, this whole thing, the whole thing, none of it.
His first target, that infamous hairdo. When Burr said he'd seen sandcastles with better structural integrity than Trump's hair, the room erupted. What made this joke land so perfectly wasn't just the visual, it was how it exposed something Trump desperately tries to hide. That carefully constructed image literally coming apart in the wind. People who moments earlier might have defended Trump to their dying breath were suddenly doubled over laughing. But Burr was just warming up. He went straight for Trump's most prized possession, his reputation as a businessman. Trump's so bad at business, he could bankrupt a casino.
Well, how could the polls be so wrong? That's a big question everyone's asking today. Is the polls all said, oh, Hillary, 95% chance, 85% chance. How could that have gone so wrong?
Because I don't think that they talk to people. You're going to build a wall.
You're really gonna do this? Like, how much is this gonna cost? How many times you gonna go to Home Depot? Like, how big is this thing gonna be? And I also think if you're any sort of a normal person, if just somebody came walking up to you with a clipboard, like, hey, who you voting for president? You'd be like, hey, none of your f***ing business.
Oh wait, he actually did that. Boom. In one sentence, Burr demolished the central pillar of Trump's entire identity, not with facts and figures or political arguments, but with a punchline so simple it cut through all the noise. Think about it. Trump has spent decades building this image of himself as the ultimate deal maker, the business genius. His whole presidential campaign was built on, I'll run America like my business is. And here comes Burr, reminding everyone that those businesses have a habit of going belly up. The audience didn't just laugh, they howled, because deep down, everyone knows it's true. Then came the visual gags. Trump's so orange when he goes to the beach, seagulls mistake him for a giant Cheeto and try to eat him. People were literally spitting out their drinks. Again, it wasn't just funny because of the mental image. It was funny because it pointed out how artificial Trump's whole appearance is. The spray tan, the carefully constructed image, all of it exposed with one joke. What Burr was doing wasn't just comedy, it was surgery. With each joke, he was carefully cutting away at Trump's carefully crafted public persona, revealing the insecurities underneath. He wasn't attacking Trump's policies or his politics. He was going for something much more fundamental, Trump's image of himself. And then came the knockout punch, the joke about Trump's hands. When Burr quipped, Trump's hands are so small he can't even grab them by the well, you know. The audience lost it completely. Why? Because everyone knows Trump has been obsessed with the size of his hands for decades. It's the insecurity that never goes away. One journalist comments about his small hands in the 80s, and he's still sending photos of his hands to that same journalist years later with "see not so small" written on them. The hand joke was the one that reportedly sent Trump into a tailspin, because unlike political critiques that he can dismiss as fake news, comedy gets under his skin in a way nothing else can. It makes people laugh at him, not with him. And for someone as image conscious as Trump, that's unbearable. Here's the really crazy part though. Bill Burr just delivered the ultimate Trump takedown that has the orange man losing his mind. Did you see the moment Burr said Trump's hair has worse structural integrity than a sandcastle? Even Trump supporters couldn't help but crack up. What's even crazier is how Trump completely melted down afterward. His angry tweets got so bizarre that his own team couldn't contain the damage. We've got the full breakdown of how a comedian managed to knock 15% off Trump's own supporter base with just a few jokes. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever wonder what happens when a regular guy